Hi, my name is Dr. Patrick Progar. I'm the Chief Clinical Officer at BDA. Today we're going to do a critical review of Skinner and Vaughan's book, Enjoy Old Age, a Program of Self-Management, published in 1983. Given our audience tends to the younger side, you might ask, why listen to a review about old age? That's a fair question, and I'll paraphrase Skinner as I saw him mention this at a conference. He noted that it can be difficult to give a book like this to someone. His suggestion was to gift the book and say, here's a book you will enjoy but won't need for years to come. So gem one is, if you don't want to feel old, don't live with a bunch of old people. That means avoid the over 55 communities and nursing homes as long as you can, if possible. Recognizing that obviously some of us may need those types of housing situations. Gem number two, old age is like moving to another country. You'll enjoy it more if you prepared yourself before you go. That sums up the purpose of the book, and again, Skinner and Vaughan do a good job in preparing us. Gem three, we'll enjoy old age when we convert whatever we do into the kind of things we like, whether we want to do it or not. How do we do that? Change the world so that old people can do more of the things they want to do and will then more often like whatever they do. Gem number four, if you can't hear someone well, either talk more or say, what? Gem five, if you forget someone's name, which happens to me quite often, you can say, I always forget the names of people I most want to remember. Gem number six, engage in the process of creating, as best we can, a situation which we are most likely to remember. Their advice, do it now or memorialize it in some way. Gem seven, forgetting where you put something. We sometimes hide something or put something in a special place, but then forget where we put it. The old maxim is a place for everything and everything in its place. Gem eight, if you have to do heavy thinking, maybe working your taxes, paying bills, reviewing doctor's notes, try to establish a quiet, distraction-free environment. Gem 9. Self-monitor your mental and physical conditions. We're more likely to be cross, curse at people when we are mentally or physically exhausted. Gem number 10. They get into why do we retire? What is the function of retirement? Just as we talk about the functions of challenging behavior, Skinner and Vaughan discuss the functions of retirement. They noted that retirement is a relatively new phenomenon, as only about 25% of people in 1870 were considered retired. Primary functions of retirement are likely either rest, what we might call automatic reinforcement function, or escape from a job you didn't like. If it's because of rest, people who retire for this reason may become bored after some period of time. It'll be especially important for this group to find hobbies, part-time work, or volunteer opportunities. Gem 11. Avoid letting people do things for you. Just as we strive for independence in children we work with, we should also strive to maintain our independence as long as we can in old age. Gem number 12. Old dogs can still learn new tricks, but if you can't do the work you used to do, try something new, but start gradually. Options offered were things like volunteer activities, consulting, engaging with politics, or joining organizations that help the elderly. Gem 13, get rid of stuff, simplify. There's also a more recent book that came out called Swedish Death Cleaning. The idea behind all of these is rather than leave all of your stuff for someone else to clean up, get rid of stuff you no longer use, give other stuff away, and so on. Gem 14, change things up a bit. One's environment can become stale. Therefore, they suggest changing the pictures in your house, listening to different music, and trying different things. Gem 15, get comfortable. Make sure your furniture is comfortable, clothes are comfortable, you can ditch the high heels, and so on. Gem 16, be security conscious. Get a dog, make sure your locks are up to date, maybe a security alarm, or other actions that will make you feel more secure. Gem 17, follow a daily schedule. Yes, activity schedules are not just for kids with autism. My guess is some of you won't like this one, but I actually love it. They discuss things like goal setting, graphing your data, and making resolutions. Remember, ABA is not just for those we serve, it works for us as well. Gem 18, leisure time is critical. A quote from their book. Happiness in the second 40 years of life depends more upon how we use our leisure time than upon anything else. How we fill the time is a critical question. On page 104, they recommend to give yourself time to learn to enjoy good literature, art, and music. Gem number 19, don't be a grumpy old man or woman. Don't be a backseat driver. If you can't keep quiet, avoid looking at the road ahead and focus on the scenery. Gem 20, adjust your behavior to who you are now, not who you were, which again I think is wisdom for all ages. Their example was to avoid noisy and dark restaurants if you have hearing or vision problems. Gem 21, not every generation is going to the dogs, as they say. Old people tend to lament the fact that the current generation is not as good as their generation. Of course, that can't be true. I grew up in the midst of the Kennedy assassinations, both JFK and Bobby, the Martin Luther King assassination, the Vietnam War, Cuban Missile Crisis, and so on. We used to have to hide under school desks to prepare for a nuclear war. I remember asking my teacher one year, if everything is going to get vaporized, what good is it to hide under my desk? So the moral here is, don't complain about younger people. Gem 22, are old people really cranky, depressed, or do they just need a little behavior management? We must go beyond telling old people how to feel, and rather, we must tell them how to change what is felt. Change your feelings by how you do things. And a quote from them, you change your feelings only by changing the conditions responsible for what is felt. Doing so beats self-medicating with alcohol or prescription meds. Gem 23, sex after 60, 70? Why not? Yes, they even offered advice on sex. For example, my mom met a very nice man after my dad died. They never married, but they were close. I used to kid her about always wanting a younger sibling. Sex is a healthy thing and should be enjoyed at whatever age. Gem 24, transcend the feelings of helplessness, fear, and suspicion. Rather than dealing with uncertainty, identify if you have sufficient money, are in generally good physical health, and reduce opportunities for people to take advantage of you. Gem 25, don't fear death, or as Blue Oyster Cult said, don't fear the Reaper. They note that if your religion has provided sufficient assurances about death, no need to read further in this chapter. But if not, here's their advice, and I quote again, what arouses fear is not death itself, but the act of talking and thinking about it, which can be stopped, end quote. Going back to how we started, they note that if you mostly hang out with older people, topics of illness and death may become quite prevalent. The more time we attend to life, the less time we attend to death. They recommend to be a stoic. Be the old person who does not complain and does not focus on all that ails you. Gem 28, living the good life as an older person. Is this only for the exception, or can most of us lead exceptional lives if we change the circumstances or in the environment that impact us? They believe that for many of us, old age can be quite enjoyable. Gem 29, old age, freedom, dignity, and a sense of humor. As we age, we may be freed from responsibilities and ambitions. Even looking our age can be viewed as maintaining our dignity. They suggest adding fun things to your daily activities rather than focusing on the obituaries. Gem 30, try something called shaping. Yes, once again, ABA has a role for us. Learn to laugh at minor pratfalls if you do not do so already. You'll find that it'll be easier to laugh at events that were really viewed as distressful. And then Gem 31, a final gem. If all goes well, as we get older, we can expect a reasonable freedom from annoyances, a chance to do the things we like to do, the people we want to do them with, and less reason to do the things we do not like. Skinner gave his final presentation to the American Psychological Association just 8 days before his death. His was a life well lived. By all accounts, he was happy and productive even during his final days. May we all emulate the work and life of B.F. Skinner. Please like, share, and subscribe. And hit us up in the comments about this topic or anything else you want to see. Thank you.
Bye.